What is up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite place to talk movies. I'm your host, Luce, and this is Real Talk, All Script. So today I'm going to bring you guys another review. Today I'm actually reviewing Michael. I told you guys this is a big movie, told you guys how excited I was for it. I actually got a chance to go out and see it a day early. They had an advance fan screening for it. So I actually saw it last night, which is Wednesday. Today is Thursday when I'm recording this. So I saw it a little earlier. I saw it with a big crowd. It was a big crowd. I was surprised how many people actually turned out for this movie. As soon as I walked through the door and went in the concessions line, like I saw people like dressed up and had their Michael, high water pants on with the loafers and Michael Jackson t-shirts and hats and everything. So they went all out. I can't say I was surprised, but I didn't think people would go that hard. I didn't think they would go that crazy for it. But with all that to the side, let's just go ahead and get into the review. So I'm gonna start out this review with something I found a little puzzling before the movie came out, and that is the Rotten Tomato score. So as it stands right now, Michael's at a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I mean, we all know that Rotten Tomatoes isn't like that's not a score that the website themselves gave the movie. Of course, it's a consensus of what actual reviewers think the movie is, whether they think it's good or bad. So that means 38% of the reviewers who actually reviewed this movie so far actually think the movie is a good movie. So I don't know if people really understand how Rotten Tomatoes work, but that's how it works. That's how it works. They put together all the scores and just make one average, essentially. So 38% of the reviewers that saw this movie, and I want to say the last time I looked, it was maybe like 150 reviews of reviewers so far, as far as the Rotten Tomatoes website, which is a little more confusing for me because after seeing this movie, I don't understand how the hell this movie is sitting at a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. So let's get into how I felt about the movie. I enjoyed the movie like thoroughly. I told you guys that I don't really want to score movies on my page. I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to give because all movies are up to anybody's opinion. Mine, I'm just going to tell you guys how much I enjoyed the movie or didn't enjoy it, and then I'll tell you guys whether I would suggest it or not. Not going to bury the lead. I enjoyed this movie thoroughly, through and through, and I would 100% suggest you guys go and check it out. If you don't want to listen to the rest of this review, you don't have to. That's essentially how I felt about it. But I am going to get into a little more details of what I did like about the movie and some things that I was a little iffy about, and one major thing that I hated. One major thing that I definitely hated, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But essentially, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. One thing I will say though, this movie is more of a celebration of everything Michael leading up to, and I don't think it's a spoiler. The movie essentially starts from the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson era, and it ends at the bad era. That's when the movie ends, like when he's getting into that. And I've made you guys aware as well, based off of how good this movie does, they are looking to make this a two-parter. So everything that we didn't get in this movie, we would be getting in a hypothetical sequel. Which, like I said, looking at how the turnout was for this movie yesterday, I'm pretty sure this movie is gonna make a lot of money. So we should just go ahead and expect that sequel to this one. But anyway, getting back into the movie. So the movie essentially starts in the Jackson 5 era. It shows maybe because this movie moves at a rapid pace. I'm talking like quick. We're moving through the whole. Well, I can't say his whole life, but his whole life, everything that he essentially had going on from the Jackson 5 era up to bad, like I said. But we really only get maybe 20 to 25 minutes at the most of the Jackson 5 era when he was a child, and then we kind of get more into the Jackson era when he was more so like a young adult or an actual grown man. But we don't really spend too much time with Michael Jackson as a kid, and I can't say that the actor that they got to portray him as a child, he did a really good job. Like, you definitely believed it. He sounded like him. I don't know if the kid did the vocals as well as far as the singing. I don't really know how they did that. I need to look into that a little bit more. But they got the sound, down pat from Michael being a child. It sounds like him. But yeah, so moving on from that, I'm gonna get into some of the characters and how the portrayals were. So let's talk about Coben Domingo as Joe Jackson. When the movie started, I was like, okay, so I'm kind of getting the feel for the movie. I think they might be going a little easier on Joe Jackson than how we all know that he was. Boy, was I, boy, was I fucking wrong. He literally like 5 minutes in, already put a whooping on Michael. I'm like, okay, well, I see what kind of portrayal this is gonna be, but I can't say Coleman Domingo is 100% a standout as his portrayal as Joe Jackson. Like even like his small mannerisms that even if you watch like an interview of Joe Jackson, Coleman Domingo fucking he nailed it. Like he nailed it. And I will say Joe Jackson is the clear villain of the story of this movie. Usually biopics don't really have villains. You know, some of them do, depend. Especially if it's a music biopic, it's usually like some corporate suit guy that's like a bad guy or something, or somebody just trying to shit on whoever the artist is or get him bad deals under the table or something like that. But Joe Jackson was all the above. I mean, he was abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally. He tried to get Michael into doing different business deals. Well, I won't say business deals, but just partaking in family business that he, of course, didn't want to. And if you know any of the history of Michael and Michael Jackson, there's a lot of things that he didn't really want to do. He wanted to be his own man. He wanted to, go solo and leave the whole band thing. I guess if you want to call it Jackson 5 a band, or whatever you want to call him. He really wanted to leave that behind and do his own thing. And Joe Jackson was the main person who didn't want him to do that. So I think them touching on a lot of that in the movie, which it wasn't a lot. I can't say that. And that's another thing I'll get into in the review. As far as like some of the specific things that happened in Michael Jackson's life that we all know historically happened. A lot of it, like I said, the movie moves so fast paced that they touch on certain things really quick and they move on from it. They don't come back to it. So it's kind of like a blink and you miss it kind of thing for a lot of different events. And that's a small minor issue I had with it. I feel like the pacing was a little bit off. I feel like this movie could have benefited from being maybe 15 minutes longer, just so we can tell a more complete story, or just to let a couple of scenes, because I don't want to get into too many spoilers, even though it's not really a spoiler. This is a actual person's life that we could all just go look up and learn more for the stuff that we didn't see in the movie. But I just don't want to give you guys a beat by beat of how the movie actually went. But there's a lot of scenes that I feel like if we just could have let him breathe a little bit more. Like I'll touch on the scene briefly. I won't give too much detail, but when Michael Jackson he meets, and I don't remember the character's name or the actual person's name, but when he meets Miles Teller, the character who Miles Teller is playing in the movie, that scene was really good. And I wish, and I feel like that scene, they gave it the time frame that it deserved. And I feel like there's a lot of scenes in the movie that I wish got the same amount of time that specific scene did, to kind of feel things out a little bit more. And I love that scene, by the way. But yeah, there was a lot of things that happened in Michael's life that the movie kind of touches on, but it doesn't give too much time to let it breathe. And that was one of the things that I wish it just could have improved on a little bit more. Some characters are glorified cameos, like the Miles Teller character. I mean, he maybe was in maybe 4 to 5 scenes. I mean, the scenes he that he was in the movie, other than the one I just told you guys about, it didn't really hold too much weight. There is a scene where, of course, we all know about the unfortunate event that happened with Michael with the Pepsi thing that he was filming when his hair caught on fire and it put him in the hospital for a while. That was another scene that Miles Teller showed up for, but it wasn't really, it wasn't really that deep. He was just there and he was gone, essentially. So that was another thing that I was like, I wish we could have let certain things breathe a little bit more. So Coleman Domingo did really good. I did enjoy the little bit of Miles Teller that I did get to see in the movie. Nia Long, of course, is in the movie. Her portrayal as Michael's mom. It was serviceable. It wasn't really, anything to write home about. But even still, you could just tell the way that she played the character and the, role that the mom, served in that family. She was essentially the glue that held the family together. And I think Nia Long did a really good job as portraying that, because I'm pretty sure, as far as I didn't see the script, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly how they wanted her to portray the character, and I think she did a good job. Nothing too crazy, like I said, it was serviceable, but I think she did what she was asked to do. And also, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. Jafar Jackson as Michael Jackson. Hey, slow clap, my brother. You did your fucking job. I don't know how much he got for this role, but give him more. Like, there was some scenes where, like, I could have swore if you didn't even need to squint your eyes. I could have swore, I'm like, that's Michael. Like, that is Michael Jackson. You couldn't tell me otherwise. Jafar Jackson did an amazing job. Like, and there was so many just small minor things. Like, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. I'm not the biggest in the world, but I'm a major Michael Jackson fan. Like, I've watched his interviews. I've watched him in the couple of movies he's played in, and of course watch his music videos and everything. And just like the small minor, mannerisms that Michael held, Jafar was doing the same things. I'm like, that you can't tell me that's not Michael Jackson. Like y'all just put some HD footage up. Like he did that good as far as the dancing, and like I said with the vocals and singing. I don't know how this movie did it. I don't know if they actually got Jafar Jackson to sing this or they got somebody to do like a cover. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. But I can't say whatever they did, I believed it. Like there's and there's sometimes where you see like a biopic and somebody may not look enough like a person or they do and just don't embody them well. And it kind of takes you out of it a little bit. Not once did I ever feel that way watching Jafar up there like that. I believed, thoroughly believed, 100% believed I was watching Michael. Like this is like the Pharrell Lego movie. Like no, this is actually him for real, just doing him playing himself in the movie. That's how good of a fucking job Jafar Jackson did. Bravo to you, my dude. But yeah, I loved him in it. I wanted to see more. Like there's so many scenes in the movie where it's like I think I'm really watching Michael up there. One of the major scenes is when they did Beat It. When they did Beat It, like everything revolving and regarding that era of Michael's life, I could have had a whole movie just off them doing Beat It alone. How good they did in this movie, from him rehearsing it to him recording it to the story behind it. For those who don't know, is essentially based off of rival gangs in LA. And if you don't know as well, even in the Beat It music video, there's real gang members in that video. Those aren't all paid actors or just dancers. There's some real goons in that music video. I'm just put it like that. But yeah, just them touching on that. And like there's just, I don't know if I'm being biased because I'm a Michael fan. But like I said, I never want to review movies based off of, because I'm not a critic. I'm not here to critique. I'm just here to tell you guys whether I enjoyed a movie or not. And from what I got, from what they delivered and gave us on the big screen, I thoroughly enjoyed my time. I feel like a lot of you guys would as well. When the movie went off, and I'm not doing my review, I'm kind of jumping all around because this movie really got me excited. But when the movie went out, usually when movies go off, I try to beat the crowd and try to just get up and just go ahead and leave. But it was like a major applause in the theater that I was in. Like everybody loved it. Everybody was into it. Like I've been to a lot of movies with a lot of applause at the end. That was one of the bigger ones, like top 3. So just to let you guys know, yeah, I may sound biased in my review, but we all enjoyed it. Everybody was there. And even though, like I said, this movie is more of a celebration of Michael, like this, don't get me wrong, this is a squeaky clean version of his life. A lot of the controversial things that he had happen to him, or just things that he had to deal with, a lot of this stuff they don't really touch on it. This is really a celebration of his life. So I could imagine, of course, in the second movie, they're probably going to touch on a lot of that way more. But in this one, they didn't really do that. This is, like I said, a squeaky clean version of his life up into the bad era. Like I said, this isn't like an expose or anything like that, or a documentary. That's not what this is. Let's get into the one thing, like I said, that I did hate. And this doesn't give anything away. It's just making you guys aware that this is a problem that I had with the movie. Everything else I was cool on. I did have minor issues here or there, but not enough to take me out of the movie or make it so I didn't thoroughly enjoy it from beginning to end. But the end, did not like that in any way, shape, or form. I don't like the way they ended this movie. I feel like they could have. They left a lot to desire. I'm just put it that way. Like there's it's very abrupt ending. I'm put it like that. Especially leading into, how the movie ends, like the last maybe 10 to 15 minutes, we rolling. I mean, we fucking rolling. Like everything is like, okay, yes, I'm loving everything that I'm seeing, and then it's roll credits over. That was a little rough to me. I understand this is a 2-parter. I understand there was a lot of reshoots revolving around this movie and regarding this movie. So that's fine, but I still feel like they could have found a way to land that plane a little bit better. So that was my only like real dislike with the movie. I really hated it. It was way too sudden. But other than that, like I said, man, I really enjoyed the movie. I hope you guys go out and see this as well. I know the Rotten Tomatoes score was a major thing that everybody was talking about on the internet for a little while. I even thought to myself, I'm like, oh damn, this is gonna be my first negative review on the page. But I saw it, and I'm sorry. That negative review is gonna have to wait. There's way more movies coming out this year that may be bad, that I have to give you bad reviews for. This is not one of them. I really enjoyed this movie, and I think you guys would as well. So I'm gonna say, hey, If you like my reviews and if I've gotten you to go see a movie and you enjoyed it as well, this is going to be another one. So loose, you definitely got the loose suggestion on this one. But anyway, that's my review for Michael. I am interested to see if you guys are interested in seeing it as well. I think, and I usually would tell you guys, this is a good movie. I enjoyed it, but you don't have to rush out to go see this one. You're gonna want to go see this one opening weekend. Like I said, that crowd that I was in, we all loved it. We were tapping our feet and bobbing our head. And some people were singing to the music as well. It's like this, like I keep saying, this is a celebration of Michael Jackson. So if you were interested in seeing this for Michael, or you just wanted to see just a good movie in general, I think this is definitely one I would suggest it, and I would suggest going out to see this one as soon as possible if you possibly can. But that's my review of Michael. I do want to know you guys' thoughts on it. Did you guys see it early like I did? I know there's a lot of people that said they went out and saw it Wednesday instead of waiting for Thursday or Friday. So if you guys saw it, I'd definitely be interested in what you guys thought and felt about it. So go down in the comments. We can have a conversation in there and let me know what you guys think. Or just let me know if you're going to go see it. All right. So with my review down from Michael, there was one more topic I wanted to talk about. This one is a little off the cuff. This is another thing that kind of like with the Super Mario thing I talked about with you guys a couple weeks ago. This is just something that I'm seeing online as far as the dialogue regarding something that was going on, and I'm a little curious as to why it's going on. But for all my Avengers or Marvel fans out there, some of us know, some of us don't, but they are re-releasing Avengers Endgame, I think in September, I want to say, leading up to Avengers Doomsday coming out later this year. And we all knew, at least I all thought we did. I thought we were all aware that this Avengers Endgame re-release is not like a normal re-release. Excuse me. Apparently they shot some additional footage. I'm assuming when they were filming Doomsday, I would guess, and they're putting this into Avengers Endgame. And apparently that's supposed to be a quote-unquote bridge leading from Endgame into Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday is apparently supposed to be a direct sequel of Avengers Endgame. So to me, regardless, I mean, it's a re-release. I'd like to go back in and, just live through that experience again before seeing Doomsday. And that was even before I knew that they were shooting additional footage to put into this. By no means do I think we're getting 15 minutes worth of footage. If we do, I mean, that's cool with me too. But I was never thinking that was what the case was going to be. I always figured it'd be, I don't know, maybe 5-6 minutes at the most, if that. And it'd just be, a couple of breadcrumbs, just kind of explaining, what should we expect from Doomsday or where characters may go leading into Doomsday. That's all I thought it was. But apparently, at least from the sounds of it, and I'm just going off of what, the Russo brothers said, the Russo brothers who, of course, are the directors of the last couple of Avengers movies. But just going off of what they said, saying that the extra footage that they're putting into the re-release of Endgame is apparently a bridge leading into Doomsday. I don't know if maybe they worded it the wrong way, but the internet didn't really take too kindly to that, and the internet is essentially framing it as though this re-release of Endgame is a must-watch. Like, you have to watch it to have any clue what's going on in Doomsday. Me personally, how I read it and just how my brain works, I didn't think that that's what they meant. I figured it was, if you guys would like to see the re-release, we do want to kind of reward you guys and give you a little bit extra to lead you into Doomsday with more excitement than you probably already would have had. I mean, like I said, I think the movie is re-releasing in September. By that time, we will for sure 100% have gotten a trailer for it. No shit. I'm actually even think the trailer is coming pretty soon. I mean, right now it is April 23rd when I'm recording this. If you ask me, I think we're getting a trailer in the next 2 weeks. I could be wrong. That's just me throwing it out there. I think we're getting it in the next 2 weeks. But the point I'm trying to make is we're going to have a lot of information leading to this re-release of Avengers Doomsday. I mean, not Doomsday, I'm sorry. Avengers Endgame. So I didn't think that if you skip the re-release of Endgame that you wouldn't know what the fuck is going on in Doomsday. That's just how I was thinking. I mean, but the internet didn't take it that way. And this is being it's a major thing with people going back and forth online and saying like, oh, here Marvel goes again. We're making us have to shell out more money. You have to watch this to go see Doomsday and have any idea. But I challenge you to think about it from this way. How many people have you heard online, if you are in the movie spectrum, if you are, interested in movies, like I'm pretty sure you are if you're listening to my podcast, we all have heard of people saying, oh, I went to see Infinity War and or Endgame. I had never seen any of the Marvel movies, and I loved them both. I completely understood what was going on, this, that, and the third. I wasn't confused. Yeah, of course, there was some of the inside jokes, kind of inside baseball kind of things that I couldn't pick up on, but I still loved the movies and understood 100% what was going on. So my thinking is, of course, I saw all the Marvel movies, and to this point as well, I'm all caught up, all the MCU shows, movies, or whatever the case may be. But if somebody is saying they didn't watch any of it and they could see Endgame and Infinity War, like 100% just came in fresh, didn't know any of that, and they weren't confused, why would your brain tell you that that would not be the case for Doomsday? I understand the MCU has been more of as of late, I should say. Oh, you kind of need to watch this to know this character, or you kind of need to know what happened with this character in this movie or this show to know what's happening then and there. Yeah, that's true. But for an Avengers movie, that's never really been the case, and I never thought that Doomsday would be anything different. That's why I'm a little confused on why all the backlash is happening with Avengers Endgame re-release. And it's like, yeah, I thought it was more of like a celebration for the fans type of thing. Like, oh, this is the last time we got an Avengers film, which is 2018, 19, whenever it was. It's 2026. It's been a while. I figured, and they usually do this, even with not the most recent Avatar. Or they maybe it did. Don't quote me, but I know for sure before The Way of Water came out, they re-released Avatar, the original Avatar, in theaters, which I of course went to go see it. And I didn't need to watch it to get any idea of what the next one was about. I just went to see it because it's a celebration of the new one coming out, and it's just, oh, do you remember a time type of thing. It was a member berries thing, as the internet like to say, which I was fine with, and that's what I figured Endgame would be. So when they told us before this quote came out that this is a bridge and there's vital information in, because I think that was the direct quote, there's vital information in the re-release of Endgame that gives you more of a, outlook onto what's going to happen in Doomsday. Even before that quote came out, we all knew, like I said earlier, that this is going to be more footage in Endgame. So even before I heard this recent quote from the Russo brothers, I was already excited. They shot, I've never really, not once again, don't quote me, but I've never heard of a re-release coming out with extra footage shot for another movie coming up. So even before I heard this quote, and I didn't even have a problem with the quote myself, but even before that, I was excited because even without the extra footage, I was going to go see the re-release regardless. And that's my thing. I'm a fan. I thought we were all fans. I'm not going just to, I'm just going to get the extra details because I feel like I have to know. No, even if they didn't put that footage in there, I think a lot of fans, just like myself, would have saw the re-release because that's normal. I mean, they re-released Star Wars. They're going to re-release Star Wars next year, actually, for the 50th anniversary. But we'll go back and see it because it was a do you remember when type of thing. And if you're a fan and wasn't alive like myself, I wasn't alive when the original Star Wars came out, but I would like to see it in theaters. I'm sure there's a lot of people, even though Endgame made so much money, there's a lot of people that maybe missed it. And there was a lot of maybe newer fans as far as kids. 2019 was a long, 18 or 19, I forget which year it came out. That was a long ass time ago. There's a lot of kids that are probably new fans now and would like to experience it in the theaters who didn't get a chance to. That's why these re-releases make as much money as they do sometimes, depending on the movie, is because a lot of people who weren't able to experience the first time, they're going to experience it now with fresh eyes. I saw it when it came out, of course. I'm going because I love the Avengers. There's not any Avengers movie that's remotely close to being bad. So, of course, if they release one of the best ones that they ever did and put extra footage in it, leading into another one that people are already rumored to say this could be up there with the best Avengers movie, in my opinion, it's Infinity War. I'm not going to argue with you guys. But if people are saying Doomsday is on the same level of Infinity War, which, like I said, is probably the best Avengers movie. But yeah, if it's on that level, you goddamn right I'm going to be there to see some extra footage. That's just the extra cherry on top. We were already going to be there. So I don't know what the big hoopla is on the internet. And I find it a little weird and strange. I feel like it's people just going out of their way to have a problem with Marvel and the MCU and Disney. Only because Marvel hasn't been, hitting on all cylinders like we're accustomed to them doing. Yeah, they had some mishaps over the last couple of years. That's all understandable. But let's not make it seem like Marvel didn't have all of us eating out of their hands for I don't know how long. We were all going to see every single Marvel movie, regardless of the character, regardless of the storyline, regardless of the talking internet. We were all going to see it. And we did it over and over and over again for what, a good 28 films? So let's not make it seem like just now because they haven't had a perfect run. Which, who has? Let's not make it seem like just because they didn't have a perfect run that now we're just everything that they do we got to overanalyze and criticize. I do understand some people may think that okay, this is a money grab, this is a cash grab, but whether you like it or not, every single movie that's ever been released in the history of cinema is a cash grab. But they're not releasing them for free. All these movies you had to pay to go see. So this is another one that you have to quote unquote pay to go see. Of course, this I don't think, and I'm telling you guys now, I don't think this is something that's a required learning type of thing. I don't think so. I think if you don't go see Avengers Endgame, the re-release this year, you'll be perfectly fine. That's just me. So I'm just letting you guys know that I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna go see the re-release. I'm gonna be looking for that Doomsday footage, but I would have been there regardless. And I don't think I don't think if you miss out on this re-release, that you would be missing anything. To be completely honest, and if you are, yeah, if you are, I'll be the first to come in and tell you that, hey, this such and such happened, such and such happened. I'll come and spill all the beans. I'll just keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna spill all the beans if this is something that's actually required learning, I should say. I'll be the first person to come in on the pod and tell you guys that, hey, such and such did this, Thor said this, Captain America, blah blah blah, Iron Man is not dead, he actually is. I'll come and spoil it all for y'all. Just if I feel like they are doing this as a greedy cash grab, even though we all understand that all movies are cash grabs. But that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Once again, if you guys have heard anything about this or saw it on the internet, which if you are a movie fan or a Marvel fan or whatever the case may be, you've probably seen it because it's been everywhere for the past couple of days, and I just thought it was a little insane, the thinking behind it. But if you guys have seen it, please go down in the comments and let me know what you think about it. I would like to really know if you guys are saying, "No, we should boycott Disney. We should. I'm not going to see the re-release," or if you're actually going to be there, just like I am, and a lot of other people are as well. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. But anyway, I gave you guys, one thing regarding movies as far as the Avengers, and I gave you a micro review. What more do you want from me? I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's all I really had to talk about today. So yeah, like I said, if you guys, have any questions or have a question of the day for me, since we're doing those again, go down in the comments, let me know. I'm open to hear any of you guys' thoughts regarding movies. I can't state this enough. I really want to make this a community that we can just all, come together and talk about movies, whether it's once a week or twice a week or however frequent I put these out. I really started this because I really just wanted to have, more people to talk about movies with. And so far, you guys have been, leaving me feedback on some videos. My Yumi and Tuscany review is still getting comments to this day. So apparently you guys like that one. I'm hoping you like this one as well. But, I don't got too much more to say. I'm rambling at this point. So, it's been a good show. I appreciate you guys, sticking with me, riding it out and listening to all my episodes so far. I really appreciate y'all. But, until next time, peace.